Hello guys, welcome to the video, and here we are. Today actually we are gonna learn how machine learning works on three different platforms. The first is Amazon Web Services, the second is Microsoft Azure, and the third is Google Cloud Platform. Right. So let's take a look how our AWS console looks like. So basically, these are the services you get when you sign in your Amazon console. Today we are gonna just focus on the machine learning services. So let's just so actually we have implemented the program already. So we actually have it implemented in the Amazon SageMaker. Let's take a look how our program looks like. So this is the program, and this is a Python Jupyter notebook. Basically, we have implemented the KNN algorithm with Titanic data set, and the output we got is basically the survival rate of each individual which was involved in the Titanic mishap. So let's take a look. To implement the KNN with Titanic dataset, we first have to import various libraries, which, as you can see, are this. The next step after importing the different libraries, we have to get the data. So in this case, we got the data from this website, and we unzipped it. Then we split the data in two different parts. The first part is train, and the second part is test. So let's take a look how our train data set looks like just few glimpses of it. So these are the headers, and so few of the details, few of the data in it. Similarly, the test data looks like this. In this column, what we have done is we have just showed how our train data set looks like, right? So the columns describe and shape and some information regarding it. And we have just taken the first 30 data from the data set. Okay, and this is how it looks like moving forward. Okay. Okay, now we have so there might be some possibility that there are some missing cells, like missing data. So in order to fill out the missing data, we took the average of the data that, like, as you can see here, for the column for the data age. So we'll take the average and we'll fill out the empty sets, empty values, right? Similar things goes for the other data as well. So as you can see, we have taken the mean, the average for the column age and fair, and we have not taken anything for the not important columns such as cabin, passenger ID, and ticket value. I mean, they are not important, so we are just gonna drop the column, like the data which is empty. So after running this this code, we'll be getting our data like this. Like, it will show us how how many empty cells are there in our training data. So as you can see, there is no empty cells in this, but there is some there all the cells are emptied in cabin column because it was not empty and we kind of dropped it. Similar thing goes for the test data as well. So as you can see, the cabin data is empty. And here we have we have changed the non-numerical value to numerical values, which includes the sex column, which like we have done female. For females, we have done 0, we have taken 0, and for males, we have taken 1. And for the column embarked, we have taken 0, 1, and 2 respectively. After doing everything, we have created a correlation matrix. So here's what our correlation matrix looks like. So we have correlated different columns with the other different columns, like respective columns. So let's say if you have survived, and if like how one column is related to another column. So here, as you can see, the survived column was related to fair column more than it was related to embarked, because the value here is lesser than the value here. So according to that logic, the darker the color, the more the correlation between two columns. Like let's see, as you can see, the diagonal values are gonna be darkest because it's related directly to the same column, right? And the other example, as we can see, is this is darker than this because this is 0.41, this is minus 0.55. So this two columns are more related than this two columns. Next, we are creating a scatter plot for different columns. Like the first scatter plot we have created is for survived people versus their age. So in this, we can understand that if your age was lower, like between let's say, and if you're in your youth, the survival chances was lesser as compared to if you were like a senior person. And this is like comparison between survived people and their fare. Like if your fare was higher, like you were an executive person or an VIP person, then your chances of survival was higher than the people who were like on a low cost tickets, like base tickets. And here we have created a correlation matrix between males and females. So basically, so here the first, as you can see, this section is consists of data of just male, and this is for female, right? So the blue thing is the people who has not survived, and the orange is for the people who has survived. Similarly, it's the same thing for females. So if you were male, then the chances of your survival was less than like you have survived. And if you're a female, then the chances of survival was higher than a male. Now let's actually see how we applied the KNN algorithm to our data. So we first normalized our data because it has like different kind of perspective to different data. So, and we here created a KNN cluster, KNN algorithm with 5 clusters. Here it's 17 clusters, and here it's 29 clusters. So we'll check the accuracy for each cluster. So let's start with the cluster 5 cluster, the algorithm which has cluster 5. The accuracy is 0.79. With 17 it's 0.8, and with 29 clusters it's 0.79. So it's not of a huge difference, right? Then okay, so now we have finished the Amazon console, Amazon uh, file. So we'll like check the Microsoft Azure next. Let's go to Microsoft Azure. Here we have created a new project, KNN. Then we have imported the data sets, and we have just created a Python notebook. Let's check. It's actually the same thing, but we are still gonna check it. So here's the file. So similarly, we have imported everything, but here we don't need to import the data from a different website, as we have already imported the data here from like the dataset functionality. So it's actually the same thing as we did in the Amazon console, and this is the final result we got. It's practically the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, this is about the Azure. Now let's take a look up. Let's take a look on Google Cloud Platform. So here we have to create an instance, and then we have to create a Jupyter notebook. Let's take a look on Jupyter notebook now. So the code and everything is the same, but here the only difference is we have to import the data from a website, from a third-party source, just similar to Amazon Web Services. In Azure, we did not need to do that because it directly imported the data into data sets, right? Everything else is the same, and the results are same as well, like pretty much the same. So yeah, this was our introductory session on AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll uploading new contents very soon. Thank you very much.